Picture this. The First Jewish-Roman War is raging. One city, Jotapata, holds out against the entire Roman army for 47 incredibly brutal days. This is the story of that siege and of the impossible choice its commander was forced to make.
So let me ask you, what would you do? When you're trapped, outnumbered, and all hope seems lost, do you die with your people, or do you try to escape, to maybe fight another day? This wasn't just a hypothetical for the Jewish commander Josephus. This was his reality.
Okay, so the situation at Jotapata was, to put it mildly, dire. The Roman general Vespasian had the city locked down tight. But its commander, Josephus, he was a crafty guy, always looking for an angle, any edge he could find against this massive enemy.
To get supplies, he comes up with this wild plan. He finds this one treacherous, unguarded path out of the city. Then, he has his men dress up in sheepskins and crawl out at night pretending to be dogs to bring back letters and vital provisions. I mean, it's a brilliant, desperate trick that actually worked. For a while, anyway.
But here's the thing. Publicly, Josephus was the symbol of defiance. Privately, though, he was a realist. He knew the city was doomed. He could see exactly how this was going to end, and, well, he started thinking about his own survival.
So what does he do? Josephus and the other leaders in the city, they cook up a secret plan. They're gonna flee. And to them, this wasn't about being cowards. It was just the only logical move left. Staying meant certain death, not just for them, but for any tiny flicker of hope for future resistance.
And here's his rationale, straight from the man himself. He argues that, hey, this isn't about saving my own skin. He claims he's leaving for their sake, to go rally a new army, to get the Galileans together, and to force the Romans to pull back from the city. It was a huge gamble, but he thought it was the one that could actually turn things around.
Well, you know how it is in a city under siege. Secrets have a way of getting out. The people found out about the escape plan, and they completely surrounded him. And this is that moment where cold, hard logic just smashes head-on into the raw emotion of the people you're supposed to be leading. And their argument was just so simple and so powerful. They basically said, you are our captain, and this city is our sinking ship. You don't get to just jump off while the rest of us drown. They argued that just having him there, with them, that was their only hope, their only comfort. And then, what started as a strategic debate gets deeply, deeply personal. You have the entire community, kids, the elderly, mothers holding their babies, literally throwing themselves at his feet, clinging to him, weeping, just begging him not to leave them. They weren't even asking for a miracle, just for him to share their fate. And, well, his resolve just crumbled.
So what's a commander to do? Trapped by their pleas and his own conscience, Josephus does a complete 180. He decides he's going to stay. But he doesn't just give up and wait to die. Oh no, he takes all that shared despair and forges it into a weapon.
This right here, this is the pivot. He tells them that if there's zero hope of survival, then they're going to fight for something that lasts even longer, glory. They would fight for a story that would be told for generations. He basically turns their death sentence into this incredible rallying cry.
And he doesn't just say it, he does it. Instantly, he leads this absolutely ferocious charge out of the city gates, smashing through the Roman guards, getting all the way to their main camp, and setting fire to their siege equipment. For days and nights on end, the fighting is just nonstop.
But let's not forget who's on the other side of that wall. It's the Roman general, Vespasian. And he is not rattled by these desperate attacks. He's a cold, calculating commander who sees the long game and adjusts his strategy. And what's so fascinating here is you see these two totally different ways of fighting just collide. The Jews are fighting with this raw, desperate courage. So Vespasian orders his heavily armored legions to just back off, avoid direct combat. He knows that desperation is a fire that will eventually burn itself out. He decides he's going to win this cheaply, using archers and slingers to just pick them off from a distance.
Vespasian starts getting impatient, though. These constant attacks are costing him time, costing him men. He's basically being besieged himself. So he decides, enough is enough. It's time to bring out Rome's ultimate weapon. He calls for the battering ram. The plan completely changes. No more starving them out, no more wearing them down. The new plan is simple. Brute force. They are going to smash the walls to pieces and take the city.
And you have to understand what this thing was. We are not talking about some big log. Josephus himself describes it as this huge beam, like the mast of a ship, with a massive iron head shaped like a ram's. This was a purpose-built engine of pure destruction.
The way it worked was devastatingly simple. The huge ram was hung from a frame, a whole bunch of soldiers would pull it back, and then they'd let it go. The sheer, focused power was enough to shatter any wall, no matter how thick. This was Rome's final, brutal answer.
So the Romans roll the ram forward. The defenders are just watching from the walls, and with the very first hit, the entire wall shakes, and this terrible cry of pure terror rises up from the people of Jotapata. It's the sound of hope finally breaking. And it really leaves you wondering, was Josephus' choice to stay an act of glory, or was it a fatal mistake?